Hey guys, welcome back for another video. We got a fun one prepared today. It is time for the semifinals for the 24-25 college football playoff. We're going to go game by game. We're going to break these matchups down, try to predict the outcome. Who's going to win, who's going to lose, what the final score will be. We are going to be concentrating on the Notre Dame versus the Penn State matchup, which is going to be our Thursday, January 9th matchup. And I'll also have another video coming out for our Texas Longhorns versus Ohio State Buckeyes matchup we have coming up on Friday, January 10th. But like I said, this is number 7 versus number 6, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Penn State Nittany Lions. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about this game or anything else, drop them below, and I will respond. Every week, we go over every single college football matchup, all the way up to the national championship. We also have all the offseason stuff coming on, and it is also time for the NFL playoffs to start this coming weekend. We're going to cover every game all the way up to the Super Bowl, including the offseason. A lot going on in the world of football. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So, on ESPN, January 9th, 7:30 p.m., number 7 Notre Dame, 13-1, coming off of that beatdown of the Georgia Bulldogs. And yes, it was a beatdown. They dominated at the line of scrimmage here versus number 6 Penn State, 13-2. They lost the Big Ten championship, but you got to give it to James Franklin's team. This team is prepared to go all the way to the national championship. They have the defense to carry them. This is actually a really tough game because these teams are almost mirror images of one another. They both play the same style of football. They both want to win the same exact way. They both want to be physical at the line of scrimmage. They both want to run the ball. They both want to play elite top 5 defense. And that's what they both do. So it's going to be strength on strength. This is like fighting yourself. Who's going to win this game? Who's going to be the most physical team? Who's going to be able to keep that physicality consistent over the course of not 1, not 2, not 3. Over the course of 4 quarters, you have to dominate in the trenches at the line of scrimmage. Right now, Notre Dame, 58.8% chance to win this game. 2.5-point favorites. Over in here is 45.5. This game to me is practically a 50-50 pick'em. It could go either way. I would not be surprised who wins this game. That makes it a very, very difficult game to call because it could just come down to one turnover, could come down to final possession, but I do see a lower scoring game. It's going to be an old-fashioned style of football, 80, 90 style of football, just grinding it out, ground and pound. Who's going to dominate the run game? Both teams can, somewhat throw the ball, but it's the run game that leads the offense. It's the run game that opens up the passing game. It's the run game that is going to open up the play action. Right now for Notre Dame, they're going to be led by Riley Leonard. We know they have a great coaching staff. Props to Freeman, how he's built this team through the portal, through recruiting. It is hard to recruit to Notre Dame. They have high academic qualifications. He's been able to do it. He's shown this team was more physical than the SEC champion. I picked them to beat Georgia. Was in no way surprised. They beat them like I thought they'd beat them. At the line of scrimmage, you have to respect the coordinators here. Dan Brock, Golden, great offensive coordinator, great defensive coordinator. Right now for Riley Leonard, is closing on 2,400 yards, 18 passing touchdowns, 6 picks. He has 15 rushing downs, set the Notre Dame rushing record for the quarterback position. So overall, 33 total touchdowns. Not the best passer. I've been pretty harsh on his passing ability since he was the Duke quarterback. Not a good thrower of the football, but it's what he can do with his legs, extending plays with his legs, extending plays on the ground. When you get pressure on him, he's able to roll that pocket out. He's able to go mobile, still keeps his eyes down the field, but he can scramble for those first downs. That can be the difference maker. I said if he runs for 80 yards versus Georgia, they were going to win. He ran for 80 yards versus Georgia. They won the game. Obviously, who's going to be leading the ground game is going to be Jeremiah Love. He was banged up at the end of that Georgia game. As of right now, he's supposed to be starting this game. He's just shy of 1,100 yards. He's your ground and pound fast guy, one of the fastest running backs in all of college football. He can carry this team on the ground. They have to get the duo going. Has to be Love, and it has to be Leonard leading the attack on the ground. Leonard's not going to come into this game throwing for 350. He's not going to have time to do that. He's going to be under a lot of pressure. Penn State wants to bottle him up. They want to force him into 3rd and longs. It's the same type of game plan versus Georgia. Dominate on the ground, lining right up in the eye, running right down your throat. With Love and with Leonard, the dual combo. They have Collins, Faison. They don't have a bad wide receiver core. Probably their best wide receiver core they've had in some time. They don't have a great deep playmaker, but they have a good rounded group of wide receivers. That's really all that you can ask for, as long as their defense can generate stops and potentially even give them a turnover. They've lived off of the turnovers, one of the highest turnover margins in all of college football. They don't turn the ball over much, but their defense generates a lot of turnovers. But it does make it hard when you're used to getting those turnovers. But hey, it's gotten them this far. They keep getting them. It keeps working. Now, looking at Penn State and James Franklin's squad, they're going to be led by the veteran Drew Aller, 3,200 yards, 24 passing touchdowns, 7 picks. He also has 6 rushing touchdowns out of that. He's not the running quarterback like Riley Leonard, but he is still a mobile quarterback. He's shown the last few games he can scramble. He can scramble for those first downs. Plus, he's a pretty big guy. Right now, Notre Dame, they're averaging 37.7 points per game. They're throwing for 196.2, running for 217.5. That is a top 15 rushing team in the nation. And they're only giving up, this is incredible, this is top 3 in the country in defense, 13.6 points per game. Only give up 187 through the air, 127 on the ground. This team dominates at the point of attack. Can that defense keep Penn State in check? Looking at Penn State, they're averaging 33.7 points a game, throwing for 243, running for 202.2. It's not as high as Notre Dame on the ground, but it's close enough. They also have a top 20 rushing team. And they also have the defense giving up 15.8 per game. One gives up 13.6, one gives up 15.8, one scores 37.7, one scores 33.7. These teams are very even, very well-rounded. Looking at the playmakers for Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, Jeremiah Love, Collins, Faison. And for Penn State, you have Drew Aller. You have one of the best 1-2 running back combos in the country. Allen, Singleton. That's one of the things that makes this team special, is they can keep those guys fresh, be cycling them in 4 to 5 carries, cycle them out. 4 to 5 carries, cycle them out. Keep the legs fresh, ground and pound over and over. Both teams want to play line of scrimmage, time of possession football. The way you won't time of possession is by running the ball on a lot of those downs. You're only throwing on 3rd and long once you get that play action going. Dominate at the line of scrimmage. That is the key here. And they also have what could be the X factor. Tyler Warren, the best tight end in football, shy of 1,200 yards right now. This guy's shown single-handedly he can dominate and take over a game. Just look at the USC game. 18 receptions, completely owned that game versus a pretty decent defense. He's done that the entire season. When you need a pass, there's a 99% chance they're going to Tyler Warren, and it's hard to cover him. Nonetheless, really talented team, really good defense. One of the big question marks for Penn State, though, is Abdul Carter going to be playing this game? He was banged up the Georgia game. They haven't 100% said that would be a massive loss, though, if he doesn't play. That's something to keep your eye on. So what do we have happening? What's going to be the outcome of this game? I've already mentioned it's a 50-50 pick. I could see it going either way. There's really not a favorite team here. They both play the same style of football. They both have almost the same talent. They both win the same way. So really, who's going to have the turnover? Who's going to have the messed up play, not get the first down when you need it, go for it on 4th and 1, and just not get it? At the end of the day, and this might be a bit of a stretch here, I'm going to go with Penn State winning this one. 24-20, going with the +2.5, going with the under. As of right now, I just think it's going to be the Tyler Warren and the running back duo combo with Drew Aller, with a defense that almost cancels out Notre Dame's defense. They both have great defensive teams. Would I be surprised if I saw Notre Dame win it? In no way whatsoever. I would be happy if either one of them wins this game. Props to both of them. I just think Drew Aller, that Penn State has just enough playmakers, slightly over, to make it over that hump. But this game could honestly go either way. But let me know what you think in the comments below. This game is a 50-50 matchup here. That's our picks. That's our predictions for this matchup. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Please drop your comments below, and I will respond. Thank you.